About 6 months ago was probably one of the worst times to build a computer. Everywhere you look, there was another headline about AI companies buying massive amounts of RAM for data centers. Prices were going up, and every month it felt like things were only going to get worse. So today, I wanted to take another look at where things are 6 months later. Ever since the first wave of price increases, things have continued moving in the wrong direction. DDR5 memory prices have kept climbing, with some high-speed kits now selling for $400 to even $500. To put that in perspective, about a year ago, those same kits were closer to $100 and $150. And this isn't just bad news for people building gaming PCs. RAM is one of the most important components in almost every single modern electronic device. Gaming PCs, laptops, servers, phones, AI hardware, even smart appliances like fridges. When memory becomes this expensive, companies don't have a lot of options. One company that's really starting to feel the pressure is Apple. Normally, Apple is one of the strongest supply chains in the world. On June 25th, Fortune reported that one MacBook configuration increased in price from $1699 to $1999 in the course of 3 days. The report points to ongoing chip shortages tied to AI demands are a part of the reason. What's also interesting is that Apple's reportedly been trying to convince the US government to allow the company to purchase memory from a Chinese manufacturer called CXMT. CXMT is currently blacklisted from doing business with American companies because of national security reasons. One report even stated that working with the company could cause major reputable damage to an American company. If Apple were eventually allowed to buy memory from CXMT, it could potentially help lower costs and improve supply. And Apple wasn't the only one making headlines. Just a few hours later, Microsoft announced another round of Xbox price increases. Starting August 1st, the 512GB model is increasing by $100 and the 1TB model is increasing by $150. It's becoming a pattern, and it's not just Apple and Microsoft. Other consumer electronics have also been criticized for price increases. The effects of higher memory costs are starting to show up all across the tech industry. But this is where things get really interesting. On June 25th, 2026, a new lawsuit was filed in California against Samsung, Micron, and SK Hynix. According to the complaint, quote, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron leveraged their apex position within the global DRAM market to bring about a coordinated pivot to high AI critical bandwidth memory, using the strategic realignment as an excuse to curtail the production of older memory formats such as DDR3 and DDR4. Basically, the lawsuit claims these companies shifted towards AI memory while intentionally reducing the supply of traditional consumer memory. Along with these accusations, the companies are also being accused of purposely reducing the amount of consumer RAM, driving prices up by 700% over the last 4 years. Now, before I go any further, I do want to make one thing clear. This is still an ongoing case, nothing has been proven in court, and everything I am talking about comes from publicly available court documentations and reporting. Whether that's ultimately true is something the court will have to decide. But one reason this case is getting so much attention is because this isn't the first time these companies have faced accusations like this. Back in 2005, Samsung pled guilty to a DRAM price fixing case and agreed to pay $300 million in criminal fines. SK Hynix also pled guilty, paying $185 million respectively. This came from the Antitrust Division of the Department of Justice, confirming that both companies were participating in price fixing. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean this new lawsuit will end the same way. It's still in the early stages, but considering the history here, it's definitely a case worth watching. Whether this lawsuit changes anything or not, one thing is pretty clear. AI has completely changed the memory market. AI companies have become one of the biggest buyers of high-performance memory in the world. They're buying on a scale that regular consumers simply cannot compete with. And because they're willing to pay those premiums and prices, manufacturers have every incentive to prioritize those customers. Even with companies trying to increase production, analysts at Jefferies are still warning that RAM prices could continue rising through the third quarter 2026, with another 40% increase possible during the fourth quarter. So if you're planning on building a PC anytime soon, RAM might end up being one of the most expensive parts of the entire system. So that's where things stand 6 months later. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. And if you want to read through the reports and courts filing yourselves, all my sources will be linked down below. Thanks for watching.